Okay, takes about a minute.
Oh, I've never done this, so it's cool.
Now I'm looking for my questions. Okay, we are live. Yes. Greetings.
Hey, Deborah.
This is Deborah Watts, and I have a wonderful guest with me today. I'm so excited to have Brittany Trumbull on. We are live. Uh-oh, let me turn this one off mute. Greetings. All right, I had it on too many places. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Brittany, welcome.
Hi, Deborah, how are you?
Wonderful.
You look awesome.
Oh, thank you. So do you, as always.
Love your earrings.
Oh, yes. Yes, there's a story behind these, which I'm sure you'll share with us today. So could we just go ahead and get started and tell us a little bit about yourself? Because I know the ladies here probably have no idea that you've been one of the founding people in this group. And just let us know a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what you're doing, what work you do, and what's your mission.
Yeah, my name is Brittany. I'm from Toronto, Canada. And I developed a platform or a blog for it right now that is called Style Bun, if you want to find it. And it's really just dedicated around the mission of helping women put self-care as a #1 priority. And number 2 is to get women to realize that they're perfect and beautiful just the way they are. I feel like we're so just like consumed by this ideal image that society puts in our brain, and that we have to better ourselves or be this perfect image, and it really, really affects our self-esteem and just our mentality and our self-confidence. And I really wanted just to demystify that whole idea and really bring people to the realization that, you know, we are made perfectly the way we are right now. And the only thing that we should be caring about is how to make ourselves our higher self and potentially bettering ourselves in that way. So, yeah.
Oh, you are preaching to the choir, sister. I love it. I love it, because this is all, as you know, what my message is about as well. So what made you choose this mission? Can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Yeah, of course. When I was younger, I was in the broadcast television industry, and I had a couple jobs doing on-air television. So I was a co-host, and I would remember really wanting this career for myself. And when I got the job, it was like a dream come true. But then I would watch myself on television later, and it was pretty horrendous, the things I realized I was saying to myself. Like, I criticized everything about my body, about my looks, and it got to the point where I wasn't even listening to my message anymore. I was just so focused on the external side of me and like how I looked, and like I had this little inner critic, the little gremlin, I like to call it, in my brain that would always be like, oh my God, your hair looks horrible, you look fat, you look ugly, how do people, you must be embarrassed. Like, it would not shut up. And it got to the point where it got so bad that I actually left the industry. I got the job and I left it because I couldn't deal with all of the criticizing and the embarrassing stuff I felt. And like, it really brought up a lot of things I didn't even realize I had in me. And it kind of brought that to the surface. So in a way, it was a great thing, because it made me realize that I have kind of like these, I wouldn't call myself an insecure person, because I don't see it, by the way, but I did bring up the fact that I do have body image insecurity issues. And so from there, leaving the industry, I actually started opening my own business, and I started working from home. And as I worked from home, the complete kind of opposite shift happened for me, always having to look perfect and proper every day because I'm always on air. I started not caring or not giving a shit at all about how I looked. So I went from like always getting ready and looking my best to not caring at all, wearing baggy sweatpants, never doing my hair, never doing my makeup. I'd go out in public and not care how I looked. I wasn't presentable really at all. And about like it took me about 6 months to a year to actually realize that I was feeling kind of depressed and not very happy. And, like I kind of like stopped caring so much about things, even though financially I was doing great and the business was great. So I had reasons to be happy. I just didn't feel that great about myself. I felt kind of depressed. And it took me about 6 months to a year to realize that a lot of that reason was because I wasn't putting self-care as a priority. And I wasn't putting time in to care for myself. And when I switched that mentality, and I made a commitment to start every day doing something to take care of me and feel good about myself, that whole way I feel and completely transformed. So that's really what inspired me to start a blog and post daily content to motivate other women to really start putting self-care as a number one priority in their life, because it affects everything, from your relationships to your self-esteem to the way you see yourself. I think it definitely has to be number one priority in everybody's life.
Oh my, that is a beautiful message and a touching story. And I've heard it before, but I always hear a little bit of a new nuance when I hear it again. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us. So if there was one thing that you would like the ladies here in the group to take away from this conversation today, what is that one thing that you really want them to remember?
It would be to always make time for self-care, because loving and caring for yourself is the number one key, in my opinion, to living a happy and beautiful life. Because when you love yourself, that the love and respect that you have for yourself is reflected to the people around you, and you inspire other people to love and care for themselves. So that is really the whole inspiration behind Style Bun, is that when we connect and we all start caring for ourselves together as a community, that love only spreads and just blossoms. So yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So
I didn't get to the part with the because the earrings, you mentioned that people are like, what are they talking about the earrings? So I'll go into that. So I post, I have kind of like a regular like weekly schedule how I post, and I'll do Inspiration Mondays, which is all about developing more self-care, more self-confidence. And then Beauty Tip Wednesdays, I just post about simple and natural beauty tips that you can implement into your daily beauty routine that are really simple. They're all natural and organic, because I'm very crazy about that. And then on Fridays, occasionally on Fridays, I'll do giveaways, which is what Deborah's wearing, the earrings here and these ones here. I do weekly giveaways where you can redeem freebies from my boutique, stylebunboutique.com, and then I mail them out to subscribers. So that's what that was about.
No, that's actually a really good point, because that was actually going to be my next question. So you covered it, which is where we can find out more about your mission, and also to see the products that you share. And yeah, I mean, you guys, Brittany's beauty tips are spot on. I love them, and I'm still working some of them in from program, a challenge that she did earlier this year, because she's like goes into everything being all natural, and that's all what I'm about as well. And so you don't have to, smell like Oscar the Grouch. It can still be natural. You can still look and feel amazing. And actually the natural remedies are sometimes way more effective than the stuff you buy in the store in terms of like pharmacy kind of things anyway.
So much more.
Yeah, and so Brittany's got the tips. I love listening to your tips. So I guess, yeah, so stylebun.com. I'm going to leave the URL in the description. You are in this group, so I'm sure if the ladies want to reach out and ask you a question, they can, right? Yeah. So yeah, and you have a lot more than that up your sleeve, but we'll just leave it for that right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be back again with some more info in the future. And I really want to just repeat this point that's just so resonant, that you have to take care of yourself. So if you guys have watched the masterclass, my shift number 2 is to just really prioritize taking care of your needs. You cannot love and give out of an empty cup what you want to give. You can only do that when your cup is full. And so this is a huge part of it. Self-care is a huge part of it. Self-nurture, really paying attention to what you need. And it may not always be the same from day to day, and that's okay. But just giving it that priority is really important. So thank you so much for sharing your message with not only us, but all the women who you're touching.
Yeah, thank you, Deborah, for helping me spread it. So it's been great. I always love connecting with you.
Always, always. So it's been a pleasure. And until the next time, much love to everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Bye.